Big tech is about to spend $700 billion on AI infrastructure in 2026. At the exact same moment, China's Lightelligence is racing toward an IPO with Photonics chip technology that could make traditional semiconductors obsolete. This is not a coincidence. This is the opening move in a trillion-dollar chess match between US capital dominance and Chinese technological leapfrogging. And retail investors are completely blind to what is happening right now. Here is what the institutions already know. When big tech announces $700 billion in AI Capex, they are not talking about buying more GPUs. They are talking about owning the entire infrastructure layer, from data centers to energy grids, to the chips that power every single AI model. This is the same playbook from 1999 when telecom companies spent $500 billion building fiber optic networks. Everyone thought it was insane, until the companies that owned the infrastructure became the most valuable on Earth. Now cross-verify this with two critical macro data points. First, US corporate Capex as a percentage of GDP just hit 13.2% in Q1 2026. That is the highest level since 2001. Second, China's semiconductor import dependency dropped to 62% in March 2026 from 78% in 2024. That is not a gradual shift. That is an acceleration. What does this tell you? The US is building defensive moats with capital. China is building offensive breakthroughs with innovation. And the collision point is happening right now in the AI chip layer. Lightelligence's Photonics technology uses light instead of electricity to process data. This is not an incremental improvement. This is a 100x speed increase with 90% less energy consumption. If they succeed, every single data center on Earth becomes obsolete overnight. And China controls the patent stack. Now here is where smart money is positioning. Three tickers are absorbing institutional flows right now. First, VanEck Semiconductor ETF with ticker SMH. This captures the entire US semiconductor supply chain, from ASML to TSMC to NVIDIA. Institutions are not betting on one chip maker. They are betting on the entire infrastructure layer. Second, Global X Robotics and AI ETF with ticker BOTS. This ETF holds companies building the physical infrastructure for AI deployment, from robotics to automation to industrial IoT. Third, iShares MSCI China ETF with ticker MCHI. This is the contrarian play. If Lightelligence's IPO succeeds, it will trigger a revaluation of every Chinese tech company with exposure to photonics and next-generation semiconductors. Institutions are quietly accumulating exposure before the IPO announcement. Now let us talk about the historical parallel that everyone is missing. In 1999, the telecom sector spent $500 billion building fiber optic networks. The media called it a bubble. Retail investors panicked and sold. But the companies that survived, the ones that owned the infrastructure, became the backbone of the internet economy. Cisco went from $10 billion to $500 billion in market cap. Corning Glass, the company that made the actual fiber, went up 2,000%. The lesson? Infrastructure buildouts always look like bubbles until they become monopolies. Fast forward to today. Big tech is spending $700 billion on AI infrastructure. China is building photonics chips that could replace silicon entirely. And retail investors are still debating whether AI is overhyped. Here is the reality. The AI infrastructure war is not about software. It is about who controls the physical layer, the chips, the data centers, the energy grids, the supply chains. And right now, the US and China are in an arms race to own that layer. The Lightelligence IPO is not just another tech offering. It is a signal that China is ready to challenge US semiconductor dominance with a completely different technology stack. And big tech's $700 billion Capex is the defensive response. So where does this leave you? If you are waiting for confirmation, you are already too late. Institutions do not wait for headlines. They position before the narrative becomes obvious. The three ETFs I mentioned are where smart money is flowing right now. SMH for US semiconductor infrastructure, BOTS for AI physical deployment, MCHI for China photonics exposure. This is not financial advice. This is institutional grade analysis of where the next $1 trillion in capital is being deployed. The AI infrastructure war is happening right now. And the winners will be decided in the next 18 months. Not by who builds the best AI model, but by who owns the infrastructure that powers every AI model on Earth. This content is for educational purposes only and does not constitute financial advice. all investment decisions carry risk.